You know that it's fun to go out, except I never leave my house. I'm either at work or home, and it seems kind of pathetic just drinking alone. So if you got nothing going on, have some drinks with Ron.
So I guess I might as well retell the story. Zach and another friend who we'll call Joe, as a great assumed name, you know, nothing like covering somebody up with a common name. So we're all drinking at this place out in the woods, and we get just tanked by the end of the night, you know, pulling shirts off. Everybody's drinking with no pants. We all in our boxers out in the woods chugging cheap beer. And Joe's sitting in the chair all reclined, and me and Zach look at each other, and Zach looks at him and says, "Joe, you're nuts." "Yeah, you're crazy too, man." "No, Joe, you're nuts." "Yeah, you're fucking crazy too, man. Woo!" Like, "No, Joe, you're nuts." "Oh my God, my nuts!" Been drinking for 10 minutes with his balls hanging out on the lawn chair, had no clue. It's fucking classic. We're Mike Schneider. The house parties in La Crosse. You'd get the whole house packed, you know, the big fucking, everybody's pitchers and cups and just wall to wall. He'd go sit down on the couch and just sit there with his arms folded, just his balls hanging out. He'd just sit on the couch in a room with like 60 people, just drink a beer and not say anything. And, "Oh my God, that guy's nuts." You're just like, what? What? It's fucking every time. I wish I had $1 for every time that guy whipped his nuts out in front of somebody.
Yeah, I was at a party with them at house once after a softball tournament or something.
Oh.
There's a couple of girls from Fenimore there. One of them was pretty hot, and apparently Mike took a shine to her, and he was kind of rubbing up on her a little bit, trying to hit on her, and then all of a sudden he kind of disappeared. And we heard a knock on the sliding doors, like the patio doors to go outside, and there was Mike with his pants down to his knees, and he was sitting there swinging around in the door. And then he came in, and he had one leg up on the couch in front of her with it out. Apparently that works for some guys.
I guess.
I've never tried it myself, but that was hilarious.
I remember one time we went to Platteville. We were drinking like fucking crazy on the way down. Like, we're doing root beer barrels.
Yeah.
You know, root beer schnapps dropped in a beer. So we're slamming root beer barrels, 15-mile drive. I don't know how many we drank. We went through a 6-pack. We get there, we're smoked. Find a couple of girls, and we're following them around town. And Mike, right up to their car window. Yeah. "How you doing? You meet my friend? He likes you." It's like, "Mike, get in the fucking car, man. We've got to go. Like, we don't know them. They may not be cool with this. No shame from that guy.
He's pretty straight-laced now. He doesn't.
What?
He's not.
His wife calmed him down.
Yeah, marriage changed that guy a little bit.
Well, that's probably a good thing, because
He'd be in prison otherwise.
I don't think you can keep going. There's only so many people you can expose yourself to before your luck runs out.
Or you find yourself on Watchdog.
Yeah, you hit that wrong person, then there's a guy over here. Oh, some of the stuff that guy. I wish I could remember some more of the stories. Just that house at 10th Street that they had with him and Ryder and Zach and just all those guys. You ever went up to that? Oh, insane. This house was so nasty. You had to sleep with your shoes by the bed so that when you got up in the morning you could put your shoes on to walk through the house. Like, they would have a party and there would be so much beer spilled everywhere. But when the party was done, the kitchen floor was cleaner than when it started. The beer actually made it so you could see the floor. I mean, just horrible, horrible place. But, some great stories there.
I just went up to Hawes's like every weekend when he was up there. So he lived with Mike's brother.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Dave. Dave's got a thing for that, too. I still remember one time I lived with Dave for a year, and I was making macaroni and cheese in the kitchen. You know, fucking stirring the noodles. I turn around, there's Dave, stark-ass naked, standing next to me. "Dave, what are you doing?" "Well, you're going to be a DJ on the radio, so I just want to make sure you got stuff to talk about when you get on the air someday." "Dave, go away." And he wouldn't leave, so I finally had to take the spoon and start flinging boiling water at his genitals. That worked. But that was it. There was nothing else I could have done that he would have just stood there, and ear to ear grin, arms folded, naked as shit.
I think Nate used to just get naked once in a while and roll around in Dave's bed, just piss Dave off.
How can Dave be mad about that? Well, people.
I stayed there one night, and like most nights up there went, you guys would get at the apartment, get shit hammered.
Oh yeah.
Walk downtown. You usually lose each other downtown, and then everybody finds their way back to the apartment or the house. There's a house at the time. And I remember the one morning, I don't know what, I was usually the first guy up. It's probably 7 o'clock, got up. Walked out in the living room, and Dave's on the couch, similar to this, sitting here just like this. And he had literally a fucking pizza on his chest that was the same color as his lid. It was black as midnight, man. On his chest, and he had half of it across his face, and he was just laying there like that, just passed out. So he, at some point, tried to make a pizza that he cooked for about an hour, I think, and then tried to eat it, and then passed out mid-eat, and it was just disgusting as fuck.
Mike has that same problem, because at the 417 house, Mike had a pizza that he cooked so fucking long that it was black, shriveled, and hard as a rock. He actually took the pizza and nailed it above his bedroom door. Drove a nail through the fucking thing, and it sat there all year. It didn't mold because it was charcoal. There was no physical properties left to it of food. It was, this shit can't go bad. It can now be put in the grill. You can, just horrible.
You can level the table with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this place, man, this place. I can't tell enough stories to do it proper justice. It's like the cable guy showed up when they moved in. They put the cable in. There's like a basement crawl space where you had to go down. The guy came out of the basement. I don't know how this place hasn't burnt to the ground yet. The wiring down there is horrible. Like, great, we just signed the lease. That's what you want to hear. We got 11 and a half months left in this dump. They're still renting the fucking thing out for way more than it's worth, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it paid for itself 5 times over.
Oh yeah, and the landlord was a douchebag. What was his name? I remember they talked about he came over all mad before they're moving out. Like, he was all mad, and they said about rent or them trashing stuff. And they said he was so pissed off, he started kicking the snow. It was like some fucking dude threatening the umpires. I'm so mad, I'm just shoveling his...
Fuck, he went out fucking Luke and Ella on him.
Yeah,
up
yeah.
the street.
With the... God damn it, you guys owe me money! Okay, man. That was an interesting neighborhood, because Jonah, years later, rented the house that was right next to that one. And so one night his roommate went outside to witness some dude who had just been stabbed and was bleeding to death out on the sidewalk, so they had to call the ambulance, call the cops, and have him hauled away before he bled to death on the street. Great neighborhood, great neighborhood. That was right by where Jonah did the Matrix ninja move over the car. Did I tell you that one? We were at karaoke, just smoked, and we're going to walk back to his house. Jonah looks at me and says, I'm going to run over that car. What do you mean run over that car? I'm going to run over the car. So he takes off, fast as he can go, starts running, gets 1 foot up on the hood, and it had been sprinkling. So he takes 1 step and goes, whoop, hits the hood, bounces off onto the street. No sooner does he hit the ground, you hear, hey, that's my car! Two dudes come out all trying to get information. Yeah, my name's Steve, and just total bullshit story. I don't even think it was their car. I think they were just fucking with him at that point. But it's like,
oh, that hurt.
yeah, oh, it looked like it did. Like, I still kept laughing. Oh, but I suppose, as long as I'm telling stories of that neighborhood, I should probably go with the best one ever. We had a Oktoberfest party at a house of mine a few blocks up, and a buddy of mine come in from Madison with his girlfriend, who was really somebody else's girlfriend, but they had been on the side for quite some time. So he figures, well, I'll find somebody else at Ron's party and adjourn to Ron's room, where she proceeded to show up. So I'm proceeding to stall her as best I can, and failing miserably. She's pounding on my door. So he gets busted, she leaves, and he's going, you gotta go with me, I gotta go talk to her. She's my ride back to Madison, I gotta go. Alright. So I'm not realizing why he wants me. I'm thinking, well, moral support. No, we get there. She pulls a fucking knife. And they're in the middle of the goddamn street. And she is swinging upwards. She's going to gut the fucking guy. And he's just jumping back like this as I'm sitting on the deck with her friends drinking beer. Hey, I'm this guy's buddy. Oh, you want a beer? Yeah, if my friend's going to get eviscerated and die on your sidewalk, I might as well drink with you all. You know? Fucking. Yeah, yeah. And I say, she's downtown with her boyfriend, is mad that the guy she's banging on the side is banging somebody else on the side, and it's so thick of irony that you can't see quite through to the other side.
Crosse is crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. How many times did I almost see someone knifed there?
I went up there for state track just a little while ago, and I had just driving down through the streets, the same streets I did. Well, how many years ago now? 17 years, 16 years ago, 17 years ago.
Yeah, getting there.
Getting old.
Yeah.
And look at that shit. And I still remembered the houses Hawes lived in. Winnebago Street. Yeah, there's Hawes' place. And we went downtown. Went to the Helm.
Oh, I love the Helm.
It was like the only bar that was open at that time. But when we left the Helm, there was a few more open. Went and had lunch at what's that Cajun place down there? Kind of right across the street from the Civic Center. It's got a goofy ass name.
I know. Fazy's up on 3rd.
Fazy's, that's not too far from Fazy's.
No, yeah, Fazy's good. What the fuck?
Anyway.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, the place is killer. It's really good. But yeah, we had a lot of fun times up there.
Oh.
We used to play football every Oktoberfest.
Oh, I remember there. I got you rang my bell one year. That was the year I moved in with Dave, because their house was like 2 blocks from the field at UW. And man, I was in no shape to be playing fucking football. I know that much.
I crushed Brad Rutnow up there playing one day. He had somebody with him. Nobody knew the guy. He just brought him to
Right.
football.
Like, oh, kill this guy. We don't know him.
And that kid, like the first time Brad threw me the football at Griswold, I caught the ball and I kind of cut out right, and he was standing there, and I just went right at him as hard as I could, shoulder to shoulder, and just fucking pancaked him, just planted him. And then for the whole rest of the game, every time I went at him, he just got out of the way. and then the same game, there was a play where somebody had like Brad Rutnow by his ankle, like he's trying to jump, like trying to hop away, and I just fucking waylaid him. He threw the football at me. He was all mad. And I think that might have been the same game that Robbie Black tried to tackle Brad when Brad was running the ball. And somehow, while Brad was going to get hit, he went like that. And Robbie's forehead went right into Brad's mouth.
Oh! And
it cut him wide open across his forehead.
Oh!
And it looked literally like he had a golf ball underneath his head.
Oh!
So that was pretty much the end of the game.
Well, yeah.
But then
Just try to talk him out of going to the hospital. Oh, you're good, you're good.
No, he's like out of it on his feet. He's just eyes half crossed, and we're like, all right, we're done. We go back to the car and we're trying to tell Rob it's not that bad. And Rob's kind of freaking out about it. And
like, oh, you don't need to go to the hospital. Here's a beer.
He goes over and he looks in the side view mirror on the car. He looks at it and sees it, and he just goes, eyes roll back in his head. He goes, oh, and just drops right to the ground. It was so funny. And I think that literally was the same weekend that they talked him into choking himself till he passed out.
Wow.
He grabbed himself by his throat. He was kind of drunk. Started choking, and all of a sudden, next thing he fucking slammed his face off the stove and fucking planted on the floor. He just goes, and wham, poof, onto the floor.
He'll wake up in a while. Just leave.
It's Robbie.
My favorite Helm story, though, because the Helm's got the big picture window on the 2nd floor, so you can see out over 3rd Street. If you know anything about lacrosse, or if you don't, it's a world record, Guinness Book of World Records for bars on one street. It's like 3rd Street just
it's per capita. I think.
Is it? Yeah, because 3rd Street's just wall-to-wall fucking bars, straight down. So we're up on the 2nd floor at the Helm, and this is back when everybody cool had the fucking spinner wheels on their car. And I get angry about shit like that, and look at that fucking chump son of a bitch parking across the street looking cool with his fucking spinners. I'd give somebody $20 right now to go piss on that fucking car. My buddy Slappy's there. Where's $20? Let me see it. Because, you know, I shoot my mouth off. I don't think that anybody's going to follow me up on that. So I was like, well, I don't have $20 to put on that. Well, what the fuck, don't say it if you're not going to pony up 20. So Zach and Jim show up, and they're all fucking kicking in ones. Next thing we know, we got a stack of ones. There's fucking $20. Whoop. Across the street he goes, walks over across by John's bar, turns around, starts unzipping his pants. You see this girl come up to him and say something, which apparently he told us later was, hey, that's my friend's car. He just goes, whips down right on 3rd Street, just pissing all over the fucking car. Like, threw the $20 in his pocket, walks back across the street into the helm.
That bar.
$20 earned, my friend. $20 earned. That's when I learned, don't say I'll give someone $20 too if you don't intend to pay the $20, because there's always one drunk asshole that will do it. By God, I watched a man piss on a car. $20 well spent. Well spent.
Well, should we get to making the ultimate Bloody Mary?
Yeah, I'd say let's close down this episode, impromptu episode, and let's show you how we're gonna make our trademark bloodies. So for episode 2, signing off.